All right, welcome to the space where truth meets transformation and epiphanies cause an evolution. Today we're going to talk about words and worth. Today I want to really talk about my book and how I made it a bestseller before it even hit the shelf and why that impacts you. I think every single person needs to know that their voice is not just a sound that comes out of their throat. I think every single person needs to understand that their voice is literally the hook that bridges this world and other dimensions. So when you really believe that your words hold meat and bones, then you no longer throw just anybody a bone. Okay? You're not playing catch with a dog. Okay? What you are doing though is you're bending reality. Some of my most favorite spiritual authors, if I might tell you openly, is Neville Goddard. He talks about the idea of completing the wish, and not just completing the wish, but living in the wish fulfilled. I also love to listen to Florence Scovel-Shinn. You guys would laugh. I don't know how to say her last name, but she wrote a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she talks about life, and life is a game, and most people lose the game because they don't understand that their word is their wand. They don't actually believe that their words create reality. They don't actually believe that their thoughts are energy. They don't understand The Secret and Bob Proctor and all of these other mentors that discuss really you are able to change your world. My favorite book right now is the book that discusses through Neville Goddard again. Neville Goddard, he talks about how a man should decree a thing and it will come to pass. But most people think that's blasphemy because it questions their entire premise and it makes them take accountability, quite frankly, for what they have and what they do not have in their life, why they are happy or why they are unfulfilled. So when I was writing my book, number one, I had to learn what my human design zone of genius was. And I really, really anchored into that. I was like, dude, I'm here to write. I'm here to translate. I'm here to give epiphanies. I'm here to help revolutionize the understanding of humans. I'm here to help people understand things that are really revolutionary so that when they do, they can have their own epiphanies, their own breakthroughs. And when they have their own breakthroughs, their life will get more simple, like the whole thing. So I wrote a book and it's called The Book of Epiphanies, and it's foreplay through wordplay, orgasms for your mind. And the coolest part about all of that was it's bold, it's disruptive, it's out there, but I understood the principle that what I create in my mind will manifest as reality. So I made my words famous before everyone ever recognized them. I had to recognize myself first and see myself first before anyone ever saw the talent. And I think a lot of us get so frustrated, so angry, so brokenhearted when no one sees us at the level that we yearn to be seen and witnessed as. And in that awareness, I realized if no one is seeing me at the level that I desire to see me, then why not make it my objective or desire to see myself so clearly, so deeply, so profoundly that when I do show up, the world cannot ignore it. So I used to have people in corporate, and I was a server actually while writing a book part-time for a little bit before I started my business. And I remember being told once or twice or a couple of times, I kept hearing the same feedback like, Bree, you inspire me so much. I just wish I could be as out there as you. Or I wish I had the confidence that you had. Or I would get these like comments. So the world was telling me that they saw me, but I didn't see myself. I'm like, dude, I'm not Tony Robbins yet. Like, you can only know and see me when I'm Tony Robbins or like some guru, right? And then it dawned on me because I wasn't willing to accept the truth, which is the world does see me, the world does recognize me, and it felt really damn uncomfortable. Of course, I'm pushing it away. And so there's two parts to this. Number one, your voice has so much weight, even if you don't see it yet. And I don't mean the weight that we're all trying to lose. I mean the weight as in like when you say something, when you open your mouth, you are able to change someone's entire reality if you believe it. So I'll give you a secret. Every episode I create, I always tell myself the right humans are going to find it, and not just the right humans, but the words that need to shift timelines will be spoken on this podcast because I will open timelines for him. I will rearrange their consciousness so that the world has no choice but to obey their new identity. I was on an interview with a guy last week, and he's creating the movement Women in Power. It's a TV show. And the best compliment came out of his mouth, and we were only on the phone call for 10 minutes, and he says, I can tell that you have found your thing. You have found your thing. And I had to sit with that, and I'm like, yeah, it's not that human design is new, and it's not that Gene Keys is like it was birthed through my womb. But what it did is it opened up a portal or a transformation within me. I can't not share it with the world because I am so clear on my ability to articulate, to teach, to be a teacher, and to deliver the information with truth and love, even if it's not what someone wants to hear at first. But the point of sharing that is because when the world and strangers or clients or your friends or your lover is telling you and reflecting to you how much they see you, listen to them. Because while you're yapping your mouth on the opposite, like, oh, no one sees me, no one values me, blah, 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 you're yapping your mouth and creating that reality. Meanwhile, you've got evidence of the opposite. You just can't see it. And this one hits home because I understood, back to the book, I understood that if I was to have a bestseller book, then I would have to believe in my words so much that I was no longer willing or able to say, oh, the world doesn't see me. No one wants to hear what I have to say. Because if I show up in that identity, then my book is going to be a book and it will sit on a shelf and not one damn person is going to open it. Why? Because it's wrapped in the energetic vibration of who gives a shit. I didn't believe in me, so why would you? So behind the scenes, your voice is always translating what you do or do not believe about your reality if you will listen. And if you don't like the meat and bones of what your voice is delivering in your reality, it's time to shake it up and it's time to pay attention to what you're so freely saying out loud. Every single word that is delivered is originated from a belief or an assumption or a creative idea that is either binding you or liberating you. So every single time I show up, even on a podcast, even on a YouTube, even on a book, even on a client call, I understand that if I show up in the vibration or the beliefs that my words don't matter and no one sees me, then the transformation of truth is not actually able to hit, which is why so many people, when they learn their human design and their gene keys, they just disregard it because they don't have a belief, number one, that it's true, and number two, that it will actually change their life because they don't believe they're that important or that they're valuable. And if they do, they're skimming the surface and they're reading information online, which is really dry rub. Like, let's be honest, it's not exciting. And they're getting pieces of the puzzle, but never the full puzzle. And so the reason I combine the laws of the universe and manifestation with human design is because what we have to understand is there is a bridge between logic and spirituality. And that bridge of awareness comes straight down to the throat. And out of that throat is a sound. And we will call that your voice. And your voice is constantly the mediator between the logic and the imagination within you. And if you do not like the sound of your voice, I would invite you to look at why. And I would ask you to decree and declare right now that your voice is the most sacred asset you have ever been given. I'm going to have you decree and declare right now, hand on your heart, inhale love, exhale noise, that your voice and the sound of your voice is the greatest asset that you have ever been given. And you might not believe it yet, not yet, but you will. Because in between logic and imagination is the awareness. Through the awareness that creates your reality, you will give it a voice. And through giving it a voice, you will give it form. Through giving it form, you will see it manifest in the physical 3D world. So, if you're writing a book and you want it to be your bestseller, I invite you to honor your voice more than you've honored any part of you. Now, let's say you really could care less to write a book. Guess what? Your voice still impacts you. The way you talk to your kids, the way that you talk to your spouse, the way that you show up and talk to strangers, the way that you lie or the way you tell the truth. Like, your voice is constantly opening up realities for you if you will allow it. I think a lot of us believe that we have to effort our way to a new reality. And there is a small select few of us that believe our voice is actually what alters the new timeline. So let's give our voice permission to express all that we are calling in. And let's give ourselves permission to not be oppressed, because when we are oppressed, we become depressed. The energy wants to move through you. So I ask you to decree and declare right now, I matter. My voice matters. My voice is my most powerful asset. And so it is. Now, I've created a human design legacy session for you. You're welcome. What I used to give premium clients, I am now giving away for free because I know this information changes lives. I'm going to invite you to go ahead and click on the link below. I'm going to tell you all the resources you need. I'm going to open the door for you and you're going to walk through. So click the link below, get into the human design legacy session. I've got freebies for you. Let's go. Let's connect on social media. Make sure you like and follow this podcast. Guys, make sure, because I am dropping content all of the time. Those epiphanies come through all of the time. And welcome to the fam. So Universal Love Academy is a collective consciousness. It is a brand, but more importantly, it is the voice that reminds you that you are epic and that is your truth. So until the next episode, you guys, I will catch you on the next call.